Chairman, we are ready.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us at this virtual meeting. And let me say to the Charter Commission members, thank you very much for your volunteering your time and your expertise in completing a very, very important task that is before us because of the 2000 election adopting the county charter. And in that process, we are required to have a charter review every 10 years. This evening's meeting comes about because of on March 4, the County Commission basically approved or recognized the appointments that had been made. And from that point, we were required within 30 days to have the first meeting. Obviously, our first meeting will be virtual. We'll talk about a little later a second meeting. My name is Ed Eilert. I'm chairman of the board of the Johnson County Commission. And I don't know how many commissioners we have with us this evening who are listening in or watching in. But let me note that Becky Fast is commissioner of the 1st District. 2nd District is Commissioner Jeff Myers. Commissioner Charlotte O'Hara of the 3rd District, Commissioner Janae Hanslick, 4th District, Commissioner Michael Ashcraft, 5th District, and Commissioner Shirley Allenbrand, 6th District. We do have with us this evening also some of our management staff, County Manager Penny Postoke Ferguson, Deputy County Manager Maury Thompson, Assistant County Managers Joe Waters and Joe Connor, and also Deputy Clerk Linda Sater, and you'll soon understand the importance of Linda to our organization and to this Charter Commission. We will also hear later from Cindy Dunham, who is the interim Chief Legal Counsel for the Johnson County Commission. So first of all, we need to call a roll and officially identify all those who are present. So Linda Sater, I'll ask you to call the roll.
Wendy Benggesser.
Wendy Bengesser is present.
Jane Dirks. Jane Dirks, can you unmute, please?
Yes, I couldn't find a button. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Karen Brownlee.
Karen Brownlee, present.
Thank you. Don Ratton.
Present.
Zach Thomas.
Present.
Ed Peterson.
Ed Peterson, present.
Jim Denning.
Jim Denning, present.
Greg Smith.
Greg Smith is here.
Joy Costin.
Joy Costin is here.
Thank you. Greg Shelton. Greg Shelton. Okay. Kyle Russell.
Kyle Russell is here.
Thank you. Vicki Charlesworth.
Vicki Charlesworth, present.
Laura Klingensmith.
Laura Klingensmith, present.
Brenda Sharp. Brenda Sharp.
Brenda Sharp, present.
Thank you. Jimmy Gona.
Jimmy Gaon is present.
Thank you. Brent McCune.
McCune is present.
Eric Michelson.
Eric Michelson, present.
Thank you. Leslie Riverola.
Leslie Riverola is here.
Thank you. Tedrick A. Hausch III.
Tedrick Hausch is here.
Thank you. Greg Musel.
Greg, I saw you a while ago. Are you muted?
Greg Musil here.
Thank you. Mike Boehm.
Mike Boehm, present.
Thank you. Don Roberts.
Don Roberts, present.
Thank you. Paula Swatch.
Paula Schwach, Present.
Thank you. Randy Hutchins.
Randy Hutchins, present.
Thank you. Chris Iliff.
Present.
Thank you. And one more time, is Greg Shelton here? Okay, thank you. And as we go through the meeting for recording purposes, as most of you have already done, if you do speak throughout this meeting, if you would please state your name before speaking for recording purposes. Thank you.
Next item, and we'll not do like they did last night at the Golden Globes. There will be no music that will be played, but for this evening, I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll again. And when your name is given, would you simply state your position or occupation or the group that nominated you to be on the committee? Just very, very short. We have 24 or 25, so if we go too long, it'll take up most of the time. So if you'll cooperate in that manner, that would be great. So Linda?
Wendy Bengasser.
Wendy Bengasser. I work for the city of Olathe, and I was nominated by the Kansas Senate.
Thank you.
Jane Jerks.
I'm recently retired and I was nominated by Kelly Warren.
Karen Brownlee.
Karen Brownlee. I currently am on Olathe City Council, and I am in government affairs for NextEra Energy and other business interests. And I was nominated by the Kansas Senate.
Thank you. Don Ratton.
Hello, I live in Shawnee. I'm a business owner, and I was appointed by the Kansas House of Representatives.
Thank you. Zach Thomas.
Good evening. I'm an attorney and I live in Lenexa, and I was appointed or nominated by the Kansas House of Representatives.
Ed Peterson.
Ed Peterson, former commissioner and attorney, representing the Kansas House of Representatives.
Thank you. Jim Denning.
Senator Denning. Jim, are you muted? All right, let's come back to Jim.
No, I got it, Ed.
Okay.
I got it, Ed. My button wasn't working.
All right.
Jim Denning, Overland Park. I work for Discover Vision Centers, nominated by the Kansas Senate.
Okay, thank you.
Greg Smith.
Greg Smith. I work for the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, live in Overland Park, and I was nominated by the Johnson County Republican Party.
Joy Costin.
Joy Costin here, a former state representative, business owner in Overland Park, and retired educator. I was nominated by Johnson County Democratic Party.
Thank you. Greg Shelton.
I'm Greg Shelton. I'm in sales and marketing for Black and Veatch, and also involved on the board of directors for the Sunflower House, and was also nominated by the Johnson County Democratic Party.
Thank you. Kyle Russell.
Kyle Russell. I live in Roland Park. I'm an attorney with the Jackson Lewis Law Firm, and I was nominated by Commissioner Fast.
Vicki Charlesworth.
Vicki Charlesworth, Shawnee. I was nominated by Commissioner Jeff Myers.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Laura Klingensmith.
Laura Klinging-Smith. I live in Stillwell. I was nominated by Charlotte O'Hara, and I'm a healthcare consultant.
Thank you. Brenda Sharp.
Hi, I'm Brenda Sharp. I'm president and CEO of the Reach Healthcare Foundation, and I was nominated by my commissioner, Janae Hanslick, District Number 4.
Jimmy Gona.
Afternoon, Jimmy Gayon, a financial advisor with Edward Jones out of Olathe, Kansas. I was nominated by Commissioner Ashcraft out of the District 5,
I'm also part of the Olathe Latino Coalition.
Brent McCune.
Good evening. This is Brent McCune. I have a financial planning office in Overland Park. I live in Olathe. I've been there about 27 years. Also a representative of the Olathe School Board in my 8th year, and I was nominated by Shirley Allenbrand.
Eric Michelson.
Hi, I'm Eric Michelson. I'm an attorney with the Stinson Law Firm, and I'm the mayor of the city of Prairie Village, where I'll be starting our council meeting. I'll have to break away in about 40 minutes for that. It's in advance. I was nominated by Chairman Ed Eiler.
Thank you. Leslie Riverola.
Hi, Leslie Riverola. I'm the city administrator of Baser. I'm the current chair of the Johnson County Park and Recreation District, live in Lenexa, and was appointed by Chairman Eiler.
Thank you. Tedrick A. Hausch III.
This is Tedrick, and you don't have to read the whole Thurston Howell III nomenclature.
Okay.
I live in Overland Park. I'm an attorney at Lathrop GPM law firm, and I was appointed by the Chambers of Commerce.
Greg Musel.
Greg Musel, I live in Overland Park. I'm the chairman of the board of the Johnson County Community College Board of Trustees. I was appointed by the chamber presidents.
Thank you. Mike Boehm.
Mayor Boehm, are you muted?
I'm sorry, I forgot to hit the button. Mike Boehm, the mayor of the city of Lenexa, the last 18 years, worked for Commerce Bank, and I was appointed by the Johnson County, Wyandotte County Council of Mayors.
John Roberts.
Don Roberts, mayor of Edgerton, Kansas, lifelong resident of Johnson County, nominated by Johnson Wyandotte County Council of Mayors.
Paula Swatch.
Paula Schwach, currently the mayor of Westwood Hills, and I'm an attorney.
Okay. And Randy Hutchins.
Randy Hutchins, farmer, business owner in the unincorporated area just north of Edgerton, Kansas, and also president of Johnson County Farm Bureau. Was nominated by the Planning Development Commission of Johnson County.
Thank you. Chris Iliff.
Chris Iliff, I am the chairman of the Johnson County Planning Commission, and I'm one of the 2 representatives to this panel from the Planning Commission.
And it does look like, Chairman, that we have all 25 charter commissioners present now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Just a note, the clerk will be sending out an email to everyone to collect additional information on the bio, anything that you would like to have shared with the rest of the commissioners. So, rest of the members of the Charter Commission. So that will be coming out in a few days, and you can list whatever biography items that you would like. At this time, we'll turn to our Chief Legal Counsel, Cindy Dunham, who will give us some oversight and overview of the charter and the responsibilities that go along with our commission. Cindy Dunham.
Hey, thank you. As Chairman said, I'm Cindy Dunham, and I'm the Deputy Director of the Legal Department, and I'm currently serving as Interim Chief Counsel. And can everyone see my screen? I've shared it. Is it visible? Linda, is my screen visible? I'm just checking.
No, it is not.
It's not. Okay. Let me go back. Let me try again. Here we go. Now is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Start the slideshow.
Let me get to slideshow. There we go. Okay, now is it visible? Linda, it shows okay?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. I'm going to just give a brief history and overview of the Home Rule Charter and the Charter Commission's responsibilities, as well as a brief overview of the Kansas Open Meetings and Open Records Act, which do apply to the Charter Commission. The Home Rule Charter is provided for by the Kansas statutes that, and they set forth that urban areas, which Johnson County is an urban area, of course, can adopt a Home Rule Charter. And that was done originally, actually, those statutes were enacted back in 1975. And the original Charter Commission dates back to then. They did propose a Home Rule Charter to the voters in '76, and it was narrowly defeated. Then in 1999, the statutes were amended. A new Charter Commission was appointed. And as a result, today's Home Rule Charter was approved by the Johnson County voters in the November 2000 election and became effective in January of 2001. I didn't include on the slide, but I think as many as you know, and we'll be talking about this next step, is every 10 years, there is a Home Rule Charter Commission needs to be appointed and convened. And that was also done in 2011. And that 2111 Home Rule Charter Commission did meet, made some recommendations, but did not propose any amendments to the Home Rule Charter. So that brings us to today. And as the chairman noted that we do have that, the board took action as required every 10 years. That's been convened, the Home Rule Charter Commission. And that's all specified by statute. And you've all identified which position you occupy by statute. And you have the list of appointments. Then we turn to the actual Home Rule Charter, tells you and sets forth your charge and responsibilities. Specifically, you'll want to look at section 6.04 of the Home Rule Charter. It dictates that you have to have this organizational meeting, as the chairman of the Chairman Ed Eilert already referenced, had to be in 30 days of the time that you were convened by the Board of County Commissioners. You are to elect your officers. It doesn't have to be today, by the way. These are just things you are to do. You can adopt rules for conduct of your meeting if you so choose. The Home Rule Charter does provide that you are serving without compensation except for necessary expenses that are authorized by the county commissioners. You will determine your own meeting frequency. You must keep minutes, and we will be providing staff for that purpose. And at least one meeting must be a public hearing. The charter states that this commission is empowered to conduct a comprehensive study of any and all phases of county government operations. Specifically, you may look at the Home Rule Charter, and you may also look at major Board of County Commissioner resolutions regarding the operation of county government. So in addition to the Home Rule Charter, there are actual resolutions that do specifically affect how county government is operated. And we can certainly provide those to you as your study proceeds. You have to provide a report of your findings to the county commissioners. That report is due no later than 1 year from today. You could certainly do it earlier if you finish up earlier, but this is your absolute deadline, is 1 year from today. And in that report, you may make recommendations regarding the administration of county government programs and activities. You may also propose amendments to the Home Rule Charter. Any recommendations must be adopted by a majority of the Charter Commission membership. The Board of County Commissioners will provide meeting space for you, will pay your necessary expenses, including administration fees and expenses. You have several options for legal services. I will offer, we have a county legal department with a number of experienced attorneys, and we are happy to provide answers to your legal questions. So please consider that. I will note, I was trying to count. I think we may have 7 attorneys. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but I think we have 7 attorneys on the Charter Commission. So you may not be in need of outside legal assistance. You may have a sufficient group of you there. And then the third option is that you may retain outside counsel. And if that is your desire to retain outside counsel, that's something you'll want to discuss. That would be something that would be one of those necessary expenses that are paid by the county commissioners. And if you do recommend any amendments to the Home Rule Charter, there will need to be some legal opinion confirming that it complies with, is consistent with state law and the Kansas Constitution. Actually, I'm going to pause there for a moment because I'm going to go ahead and go into the Open Meetings Act. And certainly you don't have to ask questions at this time, but I'll just pause if there's any questions about anything I've said so far. Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and move into the Open Meetings Act. And as I said earlier, you are subject to the Open Meetings Act. And as I believe most, if not all of you, have served on bodies that are subject to the Open Meetings Act. So this should be familiar to many, if not most of you. As you would know then, all meetings of the Charter Commission have to be open to the public, and you cannot take any binding action in secret. And briefly, I want to hit on a few high points. There are three components to a meeting. First is there's a gathering or assembly, and is obvious right now on the Zoom meeting. It can be in person or via another medium such as a Zoom meeting for an interactive communication. There must be a majority of the membership of the Charter Commission, and it would be for the purpose of discussing the business or affairs of the Charter Commission. Specifically as to the gathering or assembly. And these are the areas that have been more challenging as technology has advanced. Obviously in-person is the easy one. We all know that's a traditional gathering that's subject to the Open Meetings Act. But these, what is now called interactive communications, are also gatherings, such as one we're engaging in, and also you can use phone and such other things. And when we talk about interactive communication, that means a mutual or reciprocal exchange among or between members. In other words, simply stated, a two-way communication. So if one charter commissioner were to send to another one, or to everyone, a one-way message, that's not interactive. But as soon as somebody hits reply, that makes it interactive. And so the advice that is regularly provided by the Attorney General, the District Attorney, is do not reply to all. Because as soon as you reply to all, you have an interactive situation that can easily become then an open meeting, and you're not in an open session. You're not complying with the requirements of the Open Meeting Act when you're doing that. And this, of course, now we also have a lot of ways to communicate. It's not just emails, it's text messages. It's social media. It could mean using a third party to communicate, an agent. So there's a lot of ways to engage in interactive communications. And so we all need to be very aware of that. One of the biggest areas that has been a focus with the technology is serial meetings. Serial meetings, that was something that was added to Open Meetings Act about, it's been a little over 10 years ago. And a serial meeting has to be an open meeting. And what a serial meeting is an interactive communication in a series. And there are three components to it. You have to have a majority of membership collectively. That doesn't mean at any one time. So it's really a bunch of small meetings. And then when you put them all together, you realize you've got a majority of you being involved. And it also has to share a common topic of discussion concerning the business or affairs of the Charter Commission. And it also has to be intended by any of the participants to reach an agreement on a matter that would require binding action to be taken by this commission. So you may think you're just having a one-on-one conversation with somebody, but that person may be then having multiple one-on-one conversations, maybe through Facebook, text messages, phone calls, coffee. So that's something you need to be very aware of. And that's an area that's been a very strong emphasis in training, open meetings training. So, and probably it's pretty obvious to everybody, a majority is 13 of you. So that's a pretty large group, but that's what a majority means. And then just a reminder, it's not that you take some action, it's discussion. That's what the trigger is under the Open Meetings Act. And just very briefly, open meetings doesn't require that you give a notice in the meeting of the meeting to be in the newspaper or internet, but we are going to be providing a website for you. And that's actually the next agenda item is we'll talk to you about the website. And so we'll be able to put your meetings on your website. So that will be a great way to let everybody know how to stay in contact and observe your meetings and get involved. And we are doing this on Facebook Live today. And my understanding is we are going to continue to provide that for your meetings. And the public may attend and observe all your meetings. But keep in mind that it doesn't mean that the public is allowed to speak at every one of your meetings or to place items on your agenda. You control your agenda. And you do have to have under the Home Rule Charter, you are required to have one public hearing where the public can provide their comments. You certainly can have more. The 2011 group had 2 public hearings. And of course, you will take action by voting in an open meeting. Very briefly, the Open Records Act does apply. It'll include Charter Commission records. That would be documents or emails that are produced. And the legislature did change the Open Records Act, I can't remember now, about 6-7 years ago. And it no longer matters where, if it's a Charter Commission record, it doesn't matter where it's stored. If it pertains to the business of the Charter Commission, if it's a Charter Commission record, if it's an email that you've kept in your personal emails or you've got something in another location on your personal server drive, it can still be an open record subject to disclosure. And as many of you know, it's very common now to request emails for under Open Records Act. For that reason, we are going to be providing assistance with this. We have established a Charter Commission email address, and that will help for emails to come into this address. And when they do come into this address, we will be able to share them with all of you. So we do have a central location, which we will try to help you manage to ensure compliance with the Open Records Act, and also to ensure that you receive everything that is shared with each other. So with that, I will stop talking and turn it back to the chairman and let us proceed with the agenda.
Okay, well, Cindy, thank you very much for that very thorough but quick overview of the responsibilities of the commission. At this time, I'm going to ask the clerk, Linda Sater, to preview the website.
Good evening. This is not a live website yet. Can all of you see that website on your screen? I see some heads shaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is a work in progress. We've just tried to do some things to make it hopefully user-friendly, that when we make it public, we can have this information available for you guys and the public. We have this homepage, and there we go. So if there's any suggestions, we will take this. Again, I would say that this is not live yet. This is just a sample of what we have available. We've included some information of this welcome, just talking about the Home Rule Charter a little bit. We have this section that would state the next meeting here, where people could come to this site, the public they could see what the next meeting is scheduled, what type of meeting it is. Here we listed March 1st as being a virtual meeting. And then we have the agenda that would be attached to it that people could go to, and they would have that available. So once the agenda is made available, and I have it from the what needs to be on it from the executive team and the commission, then I would produce that agenda, get it out to you guys, and we would also publicize it on this website. We have a section here that actually lists all of you as the 2021 Charter Commission. Here's an example of that. that we have. And that way the people can see how you were appointed, who it is, and all of that. Sorry here. We also have some items of current charter and resources that we thought would be good to have out here. This can be added to. On the screen we have right now the Home Rule Charter, we have charter statutes, we have the 2011 Charter Commission report. And again, this would be any other documents that that we may see that the commission decides would be very pertinent to have out there for yourselves and for the public. Back on the home page, also, there's some history that has been supplied here so that yourselves and the public would be able to read about the history of the charter, Home Rule Charter. And then there's a little section about the work of the 2021 Charter Commission. So this is just what we have come up with. We would want it to be the commission's website, and we can add other areas to this. You can also get to these items from up here. We also have a connection to a calendar that someone could go to the calendar, see when the meetings are scheduled, and also click on that, and they could get also to the agenda that way. So we've tried to make this interactive and that it would have the information that yourselves or the public would need. So if they're, like I say, this is a work in progress, we can make it what the Charter Commission wants it to be.
Linda, when do you expect this to be active?
I would say when we've kind of had a concurrence from the Charter Commission that we should make it active for the public and for themselves to see.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much.
We have Zach Thomas has his hand raised.
Okay. Zach?
Is there a possible, Zach Thomas here, is there a possibility for us to take a look at that on the shared screen? It's extremely tough to see. Will we have an opportunity to review that on our own time, or how's that work?
Let me take a look at that. This actually is not live right now. I will check with our DTI department and see if I can get that out to all the Charter Commission members so that you guys could review it and then get any information back to me.
Okay.
And Chairman, this is Penny. I would recommend that if you have changes, you may want to have the executive committee decide, take the feedback and decide, unless they want staff to do it. But that way somebody on the commission would be making those, be in charge of making those changes with all the feedback that they get, perhaps.
Well, I think initially everybody has a chance to look at it. And then at the first meeting, when the executive committee is elected, then additional work can be done at that point in time. So, okay, that brings us to another process. We have to determine our next meeting, but before your next meeting, but before we do that, looking at the previous commission, they had 4 members of the executive committee, a chair, a vice chair, a secretary, and a treasurer. I'm not sure what the treasurer did, quite frankly, but they did have a treasurer. And as I read through the minutes, they had 3 or 4 individuals who were nominated but chose not to be elected as treasurer. So you all can make that decision as to what positions, but those are the 4 positions that were elected by the commission 10 years ago.
Chairman, could I interrupt?
Yeah.
Zach Thomas has his hand up. I think he would like to
Zach?
speak.
I apologize. I never lowered my hand. No, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Meeting schedule, and again, this is up to you. I would make this comment. The current public health order is expected. Well, the maturity date is March 31. I would hope that beyond that time, we could begin in-person meetings. Not sure what form that would need to be. We do have room here in the admin building for a group this size to meet, but we do not have the ability to do the proper social distancing. So we are looking at outside possibilities, at least for one meeting. And that would probably be Overland Park Convention Center, or maybe the Embassy Suites there at K10 in Ridgeview, or maybe there's another hotel that might have a large enough room that we could meet. So that is uncertain, but we will solidify that just as soon as we can. 10 years ago, the Charter Commission met twice a month. The only deadline you have to meet is, Cindy, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's January of 2022 or March of 2022, when you must have your report. That doesn't mean you have to take that long to make your final report. But based upon the feedback we had, I think Mayor Michelson mentioned that first Monday night, he has commission meetings starting at 6. The time of the meeting is completely up to the commission. 10 years ago, many of their meetings started at 4 p.m. and lasted for an hour or two, something like that. So immediately, I would suggest we need to decide on a next meeting, and I would suggest that that you consider that in April, either the first or second week of April. I anticipate that by that time, I hope that we will be able to meet in person. And for the considerations you have to make, the decisions you have to make, I think it's very, very difficult to do that virtually. So that's just my thought, and would be open to feedback. Beyond the first meeting or the next meeting, I would anticipate your election of your executive committee, and then complete your calendar going forward from that point.
Chairman,
Plus other information you might want. Yeah.
Chairman, we have Ed Peterson that would like to speak.
Ed?
Yes, Chairman, could I ask if we would have staff resources to conduct like a doodle poll or some similar arrangement to allow us to set the next meeting in that measure?
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. This one, we did a survey, and we can do the same thing for the next meeting. And then let everybody know as soon as possible.
Chairman.
Maury Thompson, you raised the subject, will be the contact for this commission as far as the county staff is concerned. So if the commission has any issues at all, why Maury, who's the deputy county manager, will be in charge of that communication process. Linda, did you have a comment?
Yes, we have Brent McCune that would like to speak.
Brent?
Yes, I just wanted to make the comment. As far as the meeting schedule, I find it unusual that you got 100% of the Charter Commission to join us here this evening. I just want to urge consistency. If it's going to be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe the first Monday of each month, whatever that may be. But I'd like to see us have some type of consistency on date and time.
No,
I didn't know if the K-State Innovation Campus might not be also an option.
That's right. KU Edwards, right. Good thought on the Innovation Campus and KU Edwards. We might be able to get a better deal. Thank you. Good thought. Good thought.
Chairman, we have Brenda Sharp.
Ms. Sharp.
Hi, thanks. I'm comfortable meeting outdoors if we can do that in a socially distanced and responsible way in April. I'm less comfortable meeting inside until I have a good sense of how many people in this group have received their vaccine. I know I will be among the last to receive that, and I'm not willing to put my health or that of my family at risk by being in a close quarters for extended period of time.
Okay. Other comments?
We have Laura Klingensmith.
Laura?
Hi, Laura Klinging-Smith here. So just to continue on with Brenda's comment about meeting outside, I have extreme bad hay fever. So my concern about sitting outside in the middle of April is I will be sneezing and coughing on anyone because I basically just am allergic to Mother Earth. So while we have both of those considerations, I'm not sure which way we handle that.
Okay. Well, you know, any inside meeting, as I stated earlier, would have to be socially distanced. No question about that. And so that's why we would be looking at a large meeting facility, more than what we have here in the admin building. Any other thoughts or comments?
Chairman, we have Greg Musel.
All right, Greg.
Mr. Chair, I think what we've done at the community college, and I think several other governmental bodies, is that I think we ought to try to have it in person, but I would not question or object to anybody who chooses for personal reasons to then participate remotely if we can do it hybrid in that fashion. Because everybody has, I think, has the right to their individual. I also would like to know if we have anything in person, I would like to make sure there's a consensus that we would wear masks even if we're socially distanced.
Okay. Well, yes, good points. Good points.
Chairman, we also have Jim Denning.
The meetings, we do have the option of folks coming in virtual. Of course, we're doing virtual all the time now until the end of March, but that'll be a consideration for the future. I'm sorry, Linda.
We have Jim Denning that would like to speak.
Jim?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I just want to reiterate and ditto what Greg Musel just said. I'm fine meeting in person only if everybody is masked up correctly, wearing their mask correctly. I'd be okay meeting in person. But those folks that don't want to, we should give them the option of meeting remotely. And the other thing, when we do have our meetings, I assume even though the public may not have input, the public would be able to attend those meetings as well. Would that be correct?
Yes.
So again, if the public attends, it would be my preference that they absolutely wear masks and wear them appropriately until we sort through this final leg of the epidemic. I'd be really uncomfortable in an environment where we're talking, which is the most dangerous environment when you're actually talking. So that's where the virus could really spread. Again, I'm fine meeting in person. I would prefer to meet in person with an appropriately worn mask, but the public will have to wear the mask as well. And we may not be able to socially distance 6 feet, but I certainly want to socially distance 3 feet with a appropriately worn mask on.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons, another reason we're looking at a larger facility. So there could be some public attend, but again, the same requirements would be placed on their attendance, socially distanced, masking, etc. So,
Chairman, we have Laura Klingensmith would like to speak.
yes.
Laura Klinging-Smith here again. So I have a question regarding the masks for those who haven't spoken up here who cannot wear one, or folks like myself who've already had COVID. Would we not be allowed to attend in person if we choose not to wear a mask?
Well, I'd have to rely upon our public health doctors for that, quite frankly. That's not my area of expertise. But there are medical exceptions for wearing a mask. And so that would have to be taken into consideration. But again, that would be up to the commissioner to decide exactly how they wanted to proceed on that. Okay, so we will be surveying the commission members as to date and time. I would say potentially the first and maybe the third Monday. But for the next meeting, I think the first Monday is April 5. And so the second Monday would be April 12. But again, it's up to you whether it's a Monday or some other date of the week. So we will send out that survey and let you all know immediately time and place as soon as we can. And that's all I have for this evening's meeting. Are there any other questions?
Chairman, we have Greg Musel has his hand up.
Mr. Musel.
Chairman Eiler, could, in that, with whatever the doodle poll is for date and time of the meeting, I think it might be helpful to also have that, whether people have an individual preference as to, and I don't need to know who is who, but individual preference as to in person or virtually, and also if there's objection to wearing a mask. I don't need individualized answers. I just think if we know that will help us. If 24 people want it in person, we got to plan it that way and try to have the 25th person appear virtually and participate that way. I'd hate to leave that to the next meeting if we can get that information now.
Okay, Linda? Would
Yes,
you
sir.
make that note?
Excuse me?
Would you please make that note and include that in the survey?
Yes, I will see what I can do for the poll.
Okay. One other point of clarification. I said they had the executive committee 10 years ago had a secretary. Linda, would you let us know what your responsibilities and obligations are to the commission?
At this time, Chairman?
Yeah, please.
At this time, what was done 10 years ago that the clerk of Johnson County did was they took care of clerking the meetings, such as what I am doing today, sending out the agenda, which I previously did for this meeting. The clerk was also responsible to actually create the minutes and present those to the board, to the commission, and then they would be approved at the next meeting or voted on, and the secretary actually signed those, but they were presented by the clerk. So my understanding, if the commission uses my services, that would be what I would do, or planning the meetings, sending out the invites to the meetings, sending out the agendas. I would publish them, such as if we use that Charter Commission website, I would be putting those signed documents out there for the publication to the public. I would also put the agendas out there for the public and any other documents that you guys, as a commission, would propose or agree to that we should publicize on the website. Cindy or Maury, was there any other things that I missed there? Cindy's shaking her head no.
No, Linda, you got it.
Okay, thank you.
I will just editorialize. Linda keeps us all on the straight and narrow many times. She is excellent, does a terrific job, and I think would be a great asset to this group also. But again, that's your judgment to make. At the next, excuse me. Linda?
Chairman, I'm sorry. Paula Swatch has her hand up and would like to speak.
Okay, Mayor?
I think you're muted, Paula. There you go.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, could you just identify then what Mr. Thompson's role is more clearly?
Yes, Mr. Thompson is Deputy County Manager and is, I guess, number 2 in our management organization, and does also an excellent job. So any comments, any questions beyond the clerk's responsibility or just general information, Maury will be available to answer that. Okay. I would just make this closing comment. At the next meeting, I will open the meeting and I would suggest that you elect the chair. And when that's done, I step aside. So there may be some applause for that. That's okay. I would also offer that 10 years ago at one of the first meetings, all members of the commission were invited to give their comments or opinions, if you will, upon the county charter. And if you would like to do that, I'm sure we would all be available at one meeting to share that information with you. So,
Chairman, we
Yeah.
have Don Ratton would like to speak.
okay, Don?
I'm assuming this is on our next meeting agenda, but will we do a review of the Charter Commission from 2010? And see what
I'm
changes?
sorry, I didn't completely understand.
Oh, can we see what happened in 2010 to see what changes were recommended or any amendments that happened then?
There were no changes recommended by
In
the
20
2010. Yes, yes. And, but minutes of those meetings are available if individuals would like to receive copies of those minutes. Linda, would that be you or Mr. Thompson?
That would be me. And we do have the final report from that year that is available that would give what the report was that was presented to the BOCC commissioners. That report is available.
And that would be helpful.
Okay, thank you. All right, if there are no other questions, hand up.
Chairman, hold on. Yes, I do see Jimmy Gonya would like to speak.
Jimmy?
Thank you. This is Jim McGann. I apologize. I don't have a little raise your hand on mine. So if I heard this correct, we're going to make some decisions on the next meeting. And I understand any items we suggest to the BOCC would be by majority. Are we assuming the same majority rule on our doodle poll, on our masks, on our in-person? We covered a lot of situations and questions, and I'm trying to determine what the factors are that incorporate a final decision.
Well, those questions will be asked, and again, it would be up to the commission to make those decisions. So that information will be shared, and I suppose there's a possibility that the county commission will continue virtual meetings beyond the end of March. I don't know. I just raised that possibility, and if that were the case, then this commission should continue virtually also. But no, that would be a decision of the commission, in my judgment. However, if the mandates are still in effect, then the commission should follow those mandates also.
Chairman, Cynthia Dunham would like to speak.
Cindy?
Thank you, Chairman. Cindy Dunham. And just, I don't know if I'm answering I think the chairman answered part of the question, but I did want to make clear that the home rule charter does require that as far as any recommendations that you make, it does have to be by majority vote.
Now, also note this, any recommendation that's made by the majority of the commission and presented to the county commission, the commission must place that on the ballot. There is no choice. So your recommendations that qualify for the ballot when it comes to the commission will be placed on the ballot. So. Okay, well, we'll be sending out that survey shortly, and please respond as quickly as you can. And we'll look forward to getting together after April 1st, some date, okay? Well, thank you all very much. And
Thank
again,
you.
appreciate your participation, and so good luck. And if I can help, or any of the commission can help, or staff, why, just please let us know. Thank you all very much, and good evening.
Thank you.